All right, welcome to QDSAA framework. You might have heard this from Elon Musk, right? This is a very famous nowadays framework, which is how can you actually make any system more efficient. And the reason this is important is because the more you remove things that don't matter, the more efficient you become, the less waste there is in your process, in your system, in your company, the more you get time back, and the easier it becomes to actually reallocate that towards the priorities, and the faster you will grow. So let's discuss what is the step-by-step mental model and framework that you need to follow to do this and to simplify your business. So it is, again, as I said, QDSAA framework. So the first thing that you do is you always question, right? So I'll give an example. So let's say I tell you, okay, so you have your priority, this is what you need to do, and let's go and do it, right? And you say, hey, no, but like, no, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do that. So the first thing that you do is you always question. You say, hey, let me question this assumption. Why do I have to do it this way? And I'll give you an example right now. But if you can't answer why you have to do something, then you most likely you don't have to do that thing. That's just a belief that you got from someone else, or you're just used to doing it, right? And that's the most often case. I'll give an example. So let's say I tell you, okay, where are you, like, how much money are you making right now? I'm making 50K a month. What's your goal? Make 100K a month. Okay, so you want to double your business. Cool. Great. Where are you getting your leads? On Instagram. Okay. What percentage of your sales are coming from Instagram? 80%. Okay, let's say 80% are coming from Instagram, for example. Okay, cool. So 80% is coming from Instagram. What are you doing to get sales from Instagram? Oh, I'm posting one reel a day. Okay, cool. You are posting one reel a day. Understood. So, like, what stops you from posting 2 reels a day? Oh, yeah, like I'm actually working with my clients by the meantime. Okay, cool. So what are you doing specifically to work with your clients that like takes away time from you so you can make 2 reels a day? Oh, I'm responding to my clients all the time. I'm talking to them in the chat or in the DMs. Okay. So why are you doing it? And this is where it starts, right? This is where this is an example, by the way. This is where people would say, hey, like I have to respond to my clients within 30 minutes or they are going to leave me and hate me and refund and not get results and my business is going to go to zero, right? So as an example, so that's where we need to start by first questioning it. Is that true? And most of the time you'll find out that no, right? You might think that your clients expect you to answer in 30 minutes when you need to maybe respond to them within 24 hours. And of course, make sure to set that expectation in advance, right? I'm not saying don't deliver what you promised, but set better expectations, give yourself better time, and now you don't have to. You don't have to respond to them within an hour. And see that even if you respond to them in 23 hours, if you set the right expectation, right, then nothing happens, right? And you can tell them that if it's truly an emergency, that they can call you, for example, right? But again, make sure that you don't, you don't set crazy expectations. And if you do this, what you will notice is that, oh, actually, I just did this and nothing happened. Like my clients actually now are more thoughtful about their questions. Sometimes clients send the question and you don't respond within 4 hours and they delete the question because they figured out the answer. So they start respecting your time more. Now when they answer and you ask a question and then you answer, they're actually more fresh because they got some space from their question and they're able to actually look at the answer more objectively and implement it and get better results. And you are not reactive and actually it was a belief, it wasn't true that you can't make 2 reels a day on Instagram because you had to all the time respond to everyone. So therefore you couldn't just like leave it there, let that fire burn and focus on what you need to do and make more content. This is just a simple example, but all of us have beliefs, have some assumptions that we make of what is stopping us. So all you have to do is always to question it. Why do I need to do this thing? Why does this thing have to exist? Why are we doing this thing? Is it really necessary? Like just first principles, let's think about it. And sometimes you think about it and you remove things, and that's where the most growth happens because you immediately get all of this time, all of this attention, all of this mental bandwidth that you can reallocate towards your priorities, towards the things that are helping you to grow the fastest in your business. And the more you do that, the faster you'll obviously grow. Now, let's say we questioned something and the question, like we understood that we don't really need it. Then you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna delete it, right? So let's say we are making content on Instagram and we're making 2 reels a day. And 1 reel a day is a format where we're talking directly to camera, and 1 reel a day is repurposed content, right? And we're thinking, okay, so why I can't do 2, which kind of reels are making more money? Let's say these ones, the ones that I'm talking directly to camera. Okay, why can't I do more of them? Okay, well, because I'm also making, like, it's also taking me a lot of time to repurpose and to make these kinds of reels. Cool. Do we need that? If the answer is no, if we are spending all of this effort because we heard someone else telling that we should do this, but we are doing this and it's not really working, what if we just delete it? What if we stop doing repurposed reels whatsoever? And now we get all of that time back and we can make the reels that are working for us already. So we question the assumptions, then we delete. Now, only then, if you can't delete, you say, you know what, no, I'm not gonna be able to delete it, only then you simplify, which is you say, okay, cool. So how am I right now repurposing? Okay, I'm watching my own videos, I'm finding the best moments, and I'm editing them myself, and I'm posting them. Okay, how can we simplify this process? How can we use AI that will automatically watch the transcript of your long-form videos and give you the best moments and clip it automatically for you, and you can send it to your editor, and your editor will be posting it. Will it be simpler? Yes. So that's what you need to do. Now, only after you simplify something, that's when you accelerate, right? And again, I'll tell you that 80% of the time you question and you delete. You question and you delete. You question and you delete. But it's the few things that you truly simplify, that's when you will then accelerate them, right? So you say, okay, can we make this faster? How can we make this, like if it takes a week for my editor to repurpose the content, how can we do it in a day? How can I send him 5 videos so he can use the transcript? How can I teach him or her to use AI to clip the best moments so they can spend most of their time on the editing process, etc., etc. How can you make it faster? And only the last stage is when you automate, right? When you say, okay, I'm going to use AI agents, I'm going to just click one button, upload my transcript, and my transcript is going to be automatically be from my long-form videos, shorts are going to be deducted, they're going to be transcribed, they're going to be edited by AI, they're going to be posted on my profile, etc. So that's when that's the last step, because if you automate something that's not working, it's not going to work well. You want to make sure that you delete, you simplify, you accelerate it, and only then you try to automate the parts that you can automate in your process, in your business, in a specific task that you are doing. And this is the 5-step formula that you need to follow to get yourself time back, to make your company more efficient, so now you can spend all of your time again on the priorities of your business. You can do this across every single department of your business. The example I gave you was with Instagram. You can do this with delivery. So let's say you want to make your delivery more systemized, right? Okay, cool. So first you need to understand, and let's say you want to make a course. First you need to question, do I need to make a course? Is anyone from my clients asking for a course? Let me ask them, and you go ask them and they say, no, we want actually this thing. And you will go and do that thing, right? So you want to make sure that whatever you're working on is what people need, so you don't add more things, add more complexity. But let's say, yes, you ask people, and then you realize that people say, yeah, we need a course, but you ask a bit more and you actually realize that it's just that your course is overwhelming. So instead of making a more course, you can just delete all the parts of your course, all the videos and modules that just overwhelm people, and now you'll have the same course but way simpler, and people now will be able to go through it and get results, and either win. So you literally delete it, and now the problem is solved. Then you will simplify, right? You'll say, okay, no, I need to simplify. I need to re-record this one of the course videos. I need to give them an action item. I need to give them a checklist so it's easier for my clients to implement and get results. Then you will accelerate. You'll say, okay, how do I make this shorter? How do I make people to go through this faster? Can I, on the onboarding calls, tell people they need to go through this result? So let's say you have a big course, and let's say that you know that people need to, like different people have different things that they need the most. So on the first calls, you or your team are gonna identify what modules are the most important, or what video lessons, or what templates or what things are the most important to implement for that specific client based on what their problem is. And you and your team can first tell them, hey, watch this and then these trainings first, and then you can watch everything else. So what you are doing, you are accelerating. Now, instead of the client having to go through everything themselves, now you are making it faster and easier for them to go through the things that they need to go through first. And now they'll do that first, take action, get results, and that's when they can implement everything else in the program. And that's when they can watch everything else, all right? And only then you will automate. So let's say you know that you are not getting feedback from your clients, or you don't know. Like let's say you updated your course, and now you want to make sure that it's automated. You get continuously feedback from people, so you make your program continuously better. That only then, after you did all of these steps that we talked about, you questioned, you deleted, you simplified, you made it faster, only then you'll automate. For example, you'll create Google Docs forms or type forms or whatever, and you'll put after every single module, and it will be like, it will take 5 seconds to fill out, and at the end of every course you'll have a call to action. Please fill out this feedback form after you watch this video. And it will say, what did you learn? What was confusing? Are you clear on your next action item? Any feedback, additional notes for us. And now you can have that, and you can set a simple automation that every single time a client fills it out, you get notified in Slack or in your DMs, right? You can do that with Zapier, with Make.com, with AI automations. It's super simple. And now you actually get feedback every single day of new people that are coming to your program, of what they like, what doesn't make sense, what is clear. And now you can use all of that feedback to make your program even better. So most people start there. How can I already build it automated? No, you first question, do I even have to do things? No, delete, right? If you already know what your priority is, most of the time we have limiting beliefs. Oh no, I can't let this thing go because we are emotionally attached to things. But you can. And when you remove things, you get all of your time. I don't want to leave money on the table. But you leave money on the table when you are not focused on the thing that matters the most. So you question things, you delete them, then you simplify, then you accelerate. Because if you accelerate something that's not simple, it's going to become chaos. You simplify, then you accelerate, and only after something is simple, it works fast, then you automate it, as much of it as possible, okay? Again, you can do this in your delivery, you can do this in your sales process, and you can do this in your traffic. You can do this across everything. Let's say you have a sales issue, right? So I think, okay, I get a lot of traffic and I have a good offer. My constraint is sales, right? I was selling myself. Now I hired closers, and my closers don't sell well. So for the next 90 days, my priority is to have a A-player closing team because I know that I can get them leads. I'm already getting more leads that I can handle, and they are the right kind of leads, and my program is great. I need to convert them better. I need to build an amazing A-player closer team to convert people, right? Because now we have a 10% close rate on calls, so I want to get it to 40%. Okay, so let's say that's what you're gonna do. Great. Now, you're gonna start by, so you're gonna look at what's actually working right now. So what do you need to do, right, to actually improve your close rate of your team? So you need to find A-player talent, right? Or you already have A-player talent, you need to train them. For example, okay, so what stops you from doing that? If nothing, then just do it. Ignore everything else and just do it, and you will improve. If you don't know what to do, then that's what your constraint is. You need to ask, get feedback, learn. If you do know what to do, and something is stopping you, then again, you're going to use this framework to simplify it, to get all of that time back, to be able to know what to do. Because either you don't know what you need to do, or you know what you need to do and you're not doing it, so you just need to do it, or something is stopping you. And if something is stopping you, this is what we need to do. We need to question, right? Okay, why can't, let's say your constraint in the close rate thing is that you don't have a sales script. So like there's a million things that you can do to help your closing team, your sales team, but they don't have a sales script. So every time they say something random, it's not systemized, there is no clarity, people promise different things at different times, you don't have a sales script. Great. Your priority is to build a sales script. So let's say then you have the belief of, wait, but like I need to build a sales script, but I also need to review their calls and I also need to do this and this and this. What if no? What if like you don't have to do these things? What if you just need to build the sales script first? So go ahead and just do it. Now, if you question it, right, then you delete. You say, oh no, I'm not going to give feedback. I'm going to tell my team, sorry, I'm not going to give you feedback. My only priority right now is to build this sales script for you. And I'm going to do it, and then you're going to use it. And then with this new sales script, that's when I'm going to start giving you feedback, for example, right? And then you simplify your sales script, you accelerate, you make sure it's fast, people are doing it, you accelerate how fast your closers start using this sales script, so you can actually start testing it in the real world to see how it works, what doesn't, so then you can improve it, right? And then you can automate it, which is you can create an AI bot that takes the sales script transcripts of your calls and updates the sales script continuously based on what people want, their objections, what causes people to buy. It reports to you. You go and every single week make your sales script even better based on actual calls. But if you do know what you need to do, you just need to do that and you need to ignore everything. This is where, again, questioning of whether your belief of that all of these things are needed and they are worth taking your focus away from the main thing, that's where it starts questioning it. And most of the time you figure out that no, they don't need. And then you delete things, you delete things that you do, you simplify, you accelerate, and you automate. This is the 5-step framework that you can use every single time you're thinking, I'm overwhelmed, right? You need to think this. You need to question, why am I overwhelmed? What's taking my time, right? Why am I doing it? Do I have to do this? And you delete. Then you simplify, then you accelerate, then you automate. You think through this step by step in this exact order, not the opposite way, in this exact order. And if you do, then you are going to be able to be way more focused, be way more efficient, and therefore get faster results, because while your competition is distracted, you are getting ahead by focusing on the thing that matters the most. Because what boat you are in is more important than how hard you row. What you are focused on, the thing that you are working on, how you decided, how you chose to allocate your resources matters more than anything else. If you allocate your resources the right way, if you prioritize, if you focus on the thing that matters the most, and you work hard, you are gonna beat everyone else that is working hard and is distracted, which is 99% of your competition. Hope this helped. Go and implement this framework, and this will help you to get all of your time back, right? And to simplify, so then you can prioritize better, so then you can get better results. For the same amount of work, you win, which is definition of leverage. Hope this helped. Super simple. Go and implement, and I'll see you in the next video. Now, a lot of these trainings are available for free with all of the templates, AI tools, private feedback for you to be able to implement in your business. And guess what? It's absolutely free. So if you're interested, the link will be down below in the description and you can apply to join there.